Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. I have something really interesting for you, and this happened when I was about to create a YouTube campaign for one of my clients. I did things as usual. I started creating a YouTube campaign. I usually do not choose any goal, any predefined goal. I just want to figure things out on the run after I do my research, of course. And when I was doing this, I realized a cool feature, and I really want to show you how that can change the way you can run YouTube ads and the potential use cases of how could you use that to make sure you get better results for your YouTube campaigns. Not just results. When I say results, I mean how you can achieve your desired goal by running these campaigns. So let's get started, and here is what I have for you. All right, so this is the screen that all of us are familiar with. And if you're not, then probably you should go back to my channel and look at all the YouTube Google ad videos. So once you have this screen, what we would be looking at is we would be looking at creating campaigns, because we are going to create a new campaign, and plus icon. Click on create the new campaign. When you do that, you will be prompted to create a new campaign with all the types of campaign options that Google has. As I said, I usually do not pick any goal. So I said create a campaign without a goal guidance. And we are looking at a YouTube campaign. So that means it's obviously video. And if you haven't noticed anything strange here or anything new, let me show you. This is a setting which is absolutely new, where we would be able to target people a set number of times or a desired number of times, where the YouTube ad shows to the same user, not consecutively, but it'll start showing the same user your ad X number of times, and you get to decide what the X is. So before we get started, let's also open the tab where it says learn more, the support article, so that we can get to know some do's and don'ts. And let's see how this works. It says reach the same people more than once with skippable in-stream, non-skippable in-stream ads or bumper ads. Now come to think of it, why would you want to target the same user? Let's assume that we're talking about real estate. Nobody would look at a real estate ad and jump and say that, okay, I want to buy a house now immediately, right? So it takes certain consideration. So showing your ad just once may not really get the job done, because they see about 16,000 creatives in a day. So to achieve that, to achieve the goal of nudging the user to go ahead and make a choice or to decide or to have a recall at the back of their mind, you would want to show your ad to the same user X number of times. And if you want to show this ad to the same user, you need to choose this as a goal or a subtype for you to create your campaign. When you do that, you will be able to decide that audiences in your particular audience segment. So it is very, very important. Stop whatever you're doing right now and listen to this and get it into your system. It is very important that you be very sure about your audience segment here, because there is nothing weird than showing a right ad to the wrong target repeatedly. It can backfire. So what you need to do is you need to be extremely confident about your audience type. So I will say target frequency, and the rest of the process is similar. So there is nothing new here. All right. So target frequency, reach the same people more than once. So you need to be very sure that your audience segment is tight, and then you continue. When you continue, you can choose your campaign name. Let's say YouTube frequency target ad, and then you can decide to choose the frequency. So here you have options between 2, 3, 4, because 1 doesn't make sense because you're trying to show your ad to the same user multiple number of times. So you have an option 2, 3, 4. Now you're thinking about a weekly frequency. Now you may be thinking about. Now there are two things to pay attention here. One is you need to be sure about what you're targeting, and these targets are applicable for a week. So a weekly frequency target is what you're saying here. When you say show my ad 4 number of times, which is your X here, it means that you will be showing your ad 4 times to the same user in the audience target over a span of 1 week. So this is a weekly target system that you need to keep in mind. Unlike the other setting where you can set a cap for X number of times to the same user in a day or whatever, right? So this is a weekly frequency target that you need to keep in mind. Rest of the settings are the same. You have target CPM, because you are looking at showing the ad to X number of times to a particular person. So you will have to bid on impressions, and then you have blah, blah, blah. Everything else is the same, right? Now, you also need to understand that you can only create one ad group at this point in time for one campaign with a subtype frequency target. If you have a YouTube campaign with the subtype frequency target, like what we're doing now, you need to understand that this can only have one ad group at this point in time. There are a lot of changes underway. If you want to create more, simple, create another ad group, create more ad groups, right? All right, so these are all the settings that we are familiar with, and then you will go ahead and create your campaign, blah, blah, blah. Now, the most important thing or things, there are certain do's and don'ts that you need to keep in mind. Now, target frequency is an optimization solution for driving higher ad viewership on YouTube in your brand awareness campaigns. Let's get one thing away first. You may ask me, what is the difference between a target frequency and a frequency cap? Because in both the situations, I'm putting a cap on the number of times a user can see my ad. In that case, what's the difference? So frequency cap is, you can say that show my ad to X number of times to a person in a day, and from this campaign, from this ad group, whatever. But target frequency is slightly different in terms of, this is a weekly target, right? So over a week, a particular user is going to be shown X number of times. This is not mere showing, but you can play around with this segment or with this option a lot. Let me get back to you on that in a second. Before that, let's look at what are the things that we need to do and not do. Target frequency is currently available only on YouTube with DV60, which is Display Video 360 support, coming in the second half of 2022, which could be any time. We're almost past that. Target frequency campaigns support the following ad formats. You have bumper ads, skippable ads, skippable and non-skippable ads. Do not use shared budgets for your target frequency campaigns. Target frequency building does not work for Google Video Partners because this is very specific to Google. Target frequency campaigns are currently auction only, which means there is no reservation-based ads yet. Google built-in audiences are the only ones which are supported. Custom audiences are not yet supported. Maybe it will take time. So contextual targeting for topics and dynamic lineups will be available soon. And these are the steps that you can go ahead and create your choose your target frequency subtype. Right? You can choose between 2 to 5, continue setting up the rest of your campaign. This is something that we have seen, blah, blah, blah. Now, let me show you what I meant is important. Okay, I think this is very, very, very important. Let me take you through that. Okay, also use a new campaign for this subtype. Do not change or do not try to change an existing campaign. It will not work. You need to create a new campaign altogether. Avoid using your exclusions. Don't exclude everything. Avoid using creatives that you're already running on some other account. You limit your negative targeting. Don't choose ad schedule. Don't make any changes in between. Give it enough time to perform. Well, let's limit the changes. Removing audience segments. Refrain from doing these things. Adding new audience segments less than a week before the campaign ends because it needs some time. Adding new audiences less than a week before the campaign is coming to an end because you have weekly targets. This is a weekly targeting setting for the number of impressions, right? So you need to at least have 7 days or more for you to experiment with new audiences. Large increases in budgets and at the campaign's end, don't do that. Large decrease in the budget at the campaign end, don't do that. Pausing campaign mid-flight and resuming later, don't do that, because let it run, let it gather the data, and then you can go ahead and take your decision. Now, the most important thing, the use case that I would want to talk about here is, we all know that we can run a video ad on YouTube for an ad for a particular video, and then Google collects that audiences, right? Once you have that audiences, imagine showing another ad and having a setting as having a subtype as target frequency and showing the new ad to only those people multiple times. It is interesting, right? You have a video ad and you have certain people who interacted with that video. Let's call it a group X. Now you're running a new ad, which is your target frequency subtype. You're targeting the same category called X who have already interacted with your video in the past. And now you're blasting your ad and you're optimizing it to show that the same group multiple number of times. After 2 weeks, you create another campaign and you create the subtype as target frequency with a new creative, and you can actually take people through the funnel to different stages, and you have a better probability of them converting for you. So that is one way this subtype can actually influence your conversions, and it can improvise or optimize your lead to sale cycle. Thank you so much. My name is Casey. Until next time, ciao.